Look in the mirror. What do you see? For a lot of people, the first thing they notice isn't their smile or their eyes, it's their hair. And the first feeling is disappointment. Not because something is wrong with it, just because it doesn't look like what they were told good hair is supposed to look like. So where does that actually come from? When someone says, "I hate my hair," they're usually not talking about just hair. Psychologists call this appearance-based self-discrepancy. Researcher E. Torrey Higgins developed the concept at Columbia. We suffer emotionally when there's a gap between how we actually look and how we think we should look. And that should doesn't come from inside us. It comes from media, family, culture. So when someone hates their frizzy hair, their thin hair, their curly hair, what they're really feeling is that gap, the distance between who they are and who they were told to be. The research here is consistent, and it starts early. Kenneth and Mamie Clark's doll test showed children as young as 3 had already absorbed society's beauty standards, including around hair. Nobody taught them explicitly. They picked it up from TV, from toys, from watching how adults reacted to certain looks. Straight hair gets called manageable, curly hair gets called messy, thin hair is limp, thick hair is too much. People internalize those labels and start seeing their own natural hair as a problem to be solved. This lands hardest on women of color. A 2021 study in Social, Psychological, and Personality Science by Covo and Rosette found that Black women with natural hairstyles were rated as less professional and less competent and were less likely to be recommended for job interviews compared to those with straightened hair. That's not personal insecurity, that's conditioning built into institutions. This isn't about bad hair days. Chronic dissatisfaction with appearance connects directly to lower self-esteem, higher anxiety, and depression. That's well established. But psychologist Dr. Afia Mbilishaka, who specializes in hair psychology, has observed something more specific. For many people, altering or hiding their natural hair is tied to identity suppression. You're not just changing how you look, you're sending yourself a message every morning. Who I naturally am is not acceptable. Picture what that looks like in practice. Someone with naturally curly hair spends 45 minutes straightening it every day, not because they enjoy it, but because they've learned their texture isn't welcome where they're going. That ritual isn't self-care, it's armor, and wearing it every day gets heavy. Repeat the message long enough, and you stop questioning it. It becomes your own internal voice. When people stop fighting their natural hair, something measurable shifts. Psychologists Sheldon and Elliott call it self-concordance, the alignment between your daily choices and who you actually are. When those match, well-being goes up, stress drops, and you stop burning energy on a version of yourself that was never really you. Hair is one of the more direct places this plays out. Every morning, you're making a small, repeated decision. Do I show up as myself or as the version people seem to expect? For people who spent years hiding or chemically altering their natural texture, the moment they stop is often described not as a style change, but as something closer to relief. If you've ever stood at the mirror and felt that quiet shame about your hair, the thing worth knowing is that it was taught to you. You weren't born with it. Kristen Neff, who studies self-compassion, points out that people speak to themselves with a cruelty they'd never aim at a friend. They criticize themselves for things they wouldn't even register in someone they love. And a lot of the time, that's where it starts. The mirror, first thing in the morning. Your hair isn't broken. It doesn't need fixing. Next time you look in the mirror, try one question. Is this thought mine, or was it handed to me? There's a real difference between who you are and who you were told to be.